Hi, hope you're having a great day. You're watching JVG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm going to be going over episode 10, or season 2, episode 10 of Superman Lois, which is Bizarros in the Bizarro World. And this episode is super incredible. It's finally out after such a long break from Superman Lois. It was like a whole month. It sucked. I was like, I can't wait to get back to Superman Lois. And sure enough, we got back, and it was just perfect. It was like the perfect comeback. It was really, really good. So yeah, for this video, I'm giving you a breakdown of the episode. I'm giving you theories for the next episode and just like a spoiler review, things I like, things I really noticed, things that I just didn't like, and stuff like that. So it's gonna be like a really nice video. I think for the most part, this video is gonna be super positive because this episode was incredible. So yeah, let's get started with this breakdown, spoiler review, theories video. So yeah, let's get started. And we're gonna go like by order of events. And for the first thing is that, well, this episode gets the Bizarro World explored, which is super, super cool. It was super awesome. I've been waiting for the Bizarro World to get explored. If you've seen some of our previous videos on Superman Lois, should do it after every episode. So subscribe so you don't miss the next one. But if you've seen some of my previous videos, I'm always like, I can't wait to explore the Bizarro World. I can't wait to explore the Bizarro World. Well, we're finally here. We're finally going to explore it, and it was great that we finally got to explore it, and it was actually really, really good. It did not disappoint. It was awesome. It was really, really awesome. So first, we see Clark go through the Bizarre universe, to the portal, which is like the start of the last episode, and we finally get to see what happens after that. And first he gets like this middle thing where it looks really cool. There's like this red thing, and then he goes to this portal, and then he gets to the Bizarre World. And here we get to see Clark kind of explore the differences of this Bizarre universe. For example, the red cube sun, which I thought was pretty awesome because it was a cube and not a circle, and it's like red, with the red sun, which is really, really cool. And also, like, if you notice something really, really cool, the lens flare, instead of being a circle, it was like a square, which I thought was like super awesome. I was like, that's so cool. That's super awesome. That's great directing from the director of this episode. I don't know who it was, but great directing. So that's really awesome. And then we get to see the cubed Earth, flat Earth type of thing. So I guess flat Earthers were kind of right in that universe. You know what I mean? It was kind of flat. So that's pretty cool. I think that's like really awesome that we got to see that. It definitely comes from the comics, and I think it's super, super cool that they actually did that. Even though it can come off a little bit goofy, I really like that Superman and Lois acknowledges kind of like the goofy side of the comics, but still taking the show very, very seriously. So I think that's super, super awesome. So yeah, from there he goes to his fortress, which is kind of a museum here, which I thought was super interesting. I was like, oh, what is this place? Why is there a guard? And the guard was just asleep the whole time. So yeah, that was pretty random. But yeah, and it's a museum. It's actually a cool museum. I thought that was really cool, where you get to see the fall of or the hero Kal-El. And I thought it was really, really cool whenever it has like the captions of the things. And for us, since the words are backwards for us, I like how the camera was going through the back of each caption, so we can see it like it was in backwards. I thought that was a really cool decision. So like in Clark's perspective, it was backwards, but because we were behind the thing, we could kind of see it actually be written right. So I thought it was really cool, really nice directing. Like I said, I think the director did a great job playing with that bizarre opposite type of thing. I thought that was really, really cool. So from there, he starts talking to his mom and telling him all about her son and this and that. And Jonathan comes in and takes the crystal, which I was like, okay, that's a little sus. And he's like, we gotta go. Allie knows where you're at. We gotta go. Let's go to the farm. It's probably the best, the safest place to go. And so he takes him to the farm, which is like his house in his universe. So I thought that was really cool. And he does go. And Clark is very surprised. He's like, "You can fly?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I can do a lot more than fly." And he flies and everything. That was pretty cool. And we learned that Superman is getting a little bit weaker because obviously the red sun makes Superman weak. So he was getting weak because of the red sun that's hitting him. So he has to go inside to kind of get some strength back, which I think is pretty cool. And I just kind of like how the red sun makes the world look. I think it's pretty, really cool. Okay, from here, Jonathan tries to trick Clark to thinking that he's good. He starts taking out information. He's like, what happened to my dad? He's dead. And that's where we start to get more into the backstory. He's like, let's just say me and my dad didn't see eye to eye. And then from there, Lois comes in and stops that. Like she stops Jonathan from trying to convince Clark that he's good, and we get the flashbacks. We get some pretty cool flashbacks to Jonathan's backstory and everything. So that was pretty cool how it was done. So we got like a commercial. At least for me, it was a commercial. Once he hits HBO Max, there's not any commercials, but for me, it was like a little commercial. And then we get back, and then it's like Jonathan something in the Bizarre World or something, and then it's like you're watching like a show, like it's very meta. And then we get to see the backstory of him. I thought that was really, really cool, super awesome. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, we see that, and we get to see the backstory where we see that Jonathan gets his powers whenever like this guy's falling and like a red carpet type of situation, and he like jumps out to save him. That was pretty cool. And then we see him start using these powers in his universe, which is cool. Which eventually this kind of separates him even more from his dad. His dad sees him as a great opportunity. He's like, great, he's gonna see what I have to go through every time. This is great. It's gonna be super awesome for us. But no, it actually ends up getting it worse. And he has this whole fame thing kind of gets to his head. But I did think that it was like kind of cool whenever like they were taking the photo shoot pictures and everything. I thought it was really awesome. Kind of gave you like the boys type of feel with like the 7. I thought it kind of gave you a little bit of that feel, and it was super cool. I thought it was just awesome. Like whenever the girl was like, you got to find a way to differentiate from your dad. It was like the little S. I don't know how he does that, but that's pretty cool. like I was like, of course he would do something like that. That was fine. I thought it was really funny whenever we saw Lois and Clark's reaction to it. Whenever they're looking at the TV, and Lois is like, and she's like, and Clark Kent's like, I don't know. He's like, don't look at me. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, like how in this kind of world, they're like a celebrity family and everything. That's a really cool concept to play with. I wish we got to explore that concept a little more, because I think that's actually pretty fun to just play around with. That's really, really cool. So then from there, he kind of gets persuaded to join Allie by his girlfriend, and the fame got to his head, and also that he never got attention from Clark in this universe. So all this kind of combined to him making him feel kind of empty. And so Allie definitely persuaded him, and he's on her code, which is super, super interesting. And then from there we go back to present time, where he hits his mom away, which I was like, whoa. And so was Clark. He was like, whoa, Jonathan, and he was like, Jonathan. So yeah, that was like a little extreme. I did not expect to hit Lois. And from there, where after Lois gets hit, we see the background of Lois with the same type of thing, where there's like an ad, and they do this kind of meta thing where it's like Lois Lane, and like this kind of red background type of thing. It looks really cool. And we see the background of things, and first we see where she breaks up with Clark Kent, the breakup between them two, which is a super nice scene. Like, it was incredibly acted, the way they were screaming at each other. It was like, Lois, I'm a superhero. You know what I mean? This is what I do. I can't just stop saving people. That was super awesome. And like, we need you too, and everything. I thought it was like a really nice argument. I thought it was super, super cool. You can definitely tell by Tyler Hoechlin's the way that he was playing Superman, like he was on something. You can definitely tell that he was like taking something, and then she was like in the kryptonite, and you were like, oh, he's taking the kryptonite drugs. Oh, I mean, I think like that was super cool. And I like the way he played him with a lot more rage. You know what I mean? And then whenever they break up, he's like, everything you had was because of me, this family, everything. And then like you get to see like the fire coming out of him, and then like he like blows it out and he burns the farm. That was awesome. That was a super cool shot. Like, great cinematography. That's what I was gonna say. Great cinematography. That was like great moment. I think it was just super awesome. I think just fire bread is super incredible. I think that's cooler than ice bread, to be honest. And like, yeah, give me that fire bread. That looks awesome. You know what I mean? It looked really, really cool. And I just gotta say that those shots look beautiful. Cinematography of this show is always good. And this episode delivered, I think, even more. The cinematography of this episode was incredible, including the shot where he's blowing fire and then he sees his farm and everything. Kind of reminded me of Eternals a little bit. Whenever Icarus kills Salma Hayek's character and he takes her to like the farm. And then he's like, and then like his laser eyes kind of burn the grass. Kind of reminded me a little bit of that, to be honest. I think it had a little bit of that vibe. Going on from that, we get to see Lois go to General Lane, where she tells her, you were right. You were always right about Clark and this and that. And then Jonathan goes there and tries to steal the project, which has like kryptonite, I think, to stop Clark Kent, or in this universe, Clark doesn't exist. It's Kal-El. So he tries to steal the project to stop Kal-El, and we get to see that one of the army guys is a traitor and everything. And Jonathan hits his grandpa, General Lane, and he tells him to hide. If you're not gonna join him, go hide. You know what I mean? And it's really cool also because Jonathan was with Lana, which is also super cool. I think it's a really cool concept that Lana over here has powers and everything. I don't know how she got the powers. I want to know because that sounds really, really cool. But yeah, I think that's a really cool concept. And to be honest, I just want to say that must have been so fun for the actor to just play like the superhero. She has a whole costume and everything. I thought it was really, really cool. And Rock, give me that Lana powers. If they do, I hope they merge. To be honest, I want her to get some powers. I think they merge. That would be a really interesting plotline for Lana. So yeah, that would be super, super cool. And after that, we go back to present time, and we can see Jonathan start to beat up Superman, asking him where the planets are, and where's Anderson? He's like beating the crowd on him against the wall. He's like, he was like going all out. My boy and I had no self-restraint. He was like really mad. And then Anderson then shows up and he's like, I'm right here or something like that, but backwards, because he can't speak that way. But I just think it's super interesting how they just play with that concept. Super cool, by the way. It's super awesome. And yeah, he asks him backwards. He tells him backwards, I'm right here. And then that thing happens again where we get to see the background of Anderson with the line and everything, which was super cool. And we get to see how when Anderson first crosses the thing and he's trying to like talk to Allie, but since he's talking backwards, Allie tells him go kill him, you know what I mean, and get dependence. And obviously he doesn't want to die, you know what I mean. So he I like how he just hits Lana. He does like and like Lana just goes flying away. That's super cool. Like that, those punches can definitely be fun. I was like, this guy hits hard, you know what I mean. And then he starts merging with his other self, which I thought was super interesting. I was like, wow, they're starting to merge. And then Allie's like, kill her, Jonathan, kill him, Jonathan. If they merge, everything's gonna get lost or something. And he sure enough, he kills the bizarre version of Anderson, which is why there was like a whole school of Anderson at the start of the episode, which is why we thought he was dead, but he wasn't really dead and everything. And I thought it was a pretty nice misdirect. But yeah, he kills that bizarre version, and then Jonathan's like, I've never killed anybody before. And then Anderson obviously escapes. She's like, I'm not gonna fight. I gotta survive. You know what I mean? I gotta get out of here. I don't know what's going on. So he escapes. And then from there, Anderson goes tries to look for Lois, and first of all, he goes to the newspaper place where Chrissy is, and she asks for Lois, but he's speaking backwards, so nobody can understand him. So she kind of writes it down. He writes it down, and she tells him, but she has to tell him very secretly. She's like. She writes it down and she's like, "You gotta get out of here because if we don't tell Allie, we're all gonna die." You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting how much power the code of Allie got, and also throughout the episode, you get to see how the code of Allie grows over time. Like the start of the episode, it wasn't that powerful, and then like at this point, it's like this huge, massive thing, which I thought was super, super interesting. I wish you could have explored that also a little bit more because I thought that was a really nice concept to play with. But yeah, Chrissy here in this universe was actually pretty good. You know, Chrissy was actually a pretty good character in this universe. I wish we got more of that good character in our universe. You know what I mean? Maybe if they merge, she can get better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. You know what I mean? But then he goes and finds Lois, and here we get a very emotional scene. Like I was like, wow, this is very touching. Where Jordan asks Anderson what happened to his dad, which is Bizarro, and Anderson realizes, oh my god, I killed his dad. You know, I killed the other Superman. And Anderson has like a breakdown. He starts crying. He's trying to explain it, but he's talking backwards, so it's like super tragic. Obviously, what's his name? General Lane can tell, you know, yeah, Bizarro's definitely dead. You know, just by the way that he's acting, like he's definitely dead. He tells Jordan, your dad's dead. You know what I mean? And you know, it's a really emotional scene. You're like, wow. And it feels really nice that Anderson's feeling regret, that he's like realizes I was wrong. He's like, I should have never done that and everything. Like you feel that regret, and I really think that was super powerful. So yeah, really powerful scene, and I really didn't think they were gonna ever make me feel for Anderson, but they're really making me feel for Anderson. So that's great. He really, like I said in my previous videos, reminds me a lot of kind of John Walker, you know, from John Walker from Malcolm Shoulder. That's really what he reminds me of. So that's really, really cool. So from there, we go back to the present time where Anderson saves Clark from Jonathan after he's beating up and kind of ties up Jonathan. And I apologize to the Superman for everything. He's like, now I know what you were hiding. You have a family. The family they have in this universe is probably the same one. And Superman's like, yeah. And you know, it's really good that Anderson diagnosis, I was so wrong. He just has so much regret in him, and I love it. He's like, I apologize. I think it was like a really, really good scene. Like I thought it was a really, really nice scene. And yeah, and then from there we got to a really, really cool fight between Team Superman, which is just Superman and Anderson, and Team Allie, which is Taro, Lana, and Jonathan, which I thought was a super cool just like thing. And so yeah, they go at it. Anderson goes for Jonathan. He starts flying him up to the sky. He's like hitting him and everything. And then Taro tries to hit Clark Kent or Kal-El, and he just like he just hits him back. He's like, no, you're not touching me. And he like throws him, but then Lana gets him. So that was like really cool. And like I said, this must have been super cool for the actor of Lana to like be able to like do this type of fight scenes. And I thought it was really cool. Each punch you can feel it. Like each punch in this fight, it could be felt. They felt super hard. They felt super brutal, and that was thanks to the directing and thanks to the CGI. Because the CGI in this episode was flawless. Like I thought that whole thing was super, super cool with the CGI. Whenever they were throwing each other to the sky and going to space and doing this and that and flying around, like you just felt the power of like their speed and their super strength and everything. So it was really, really nice. I thought it was really, really cool. So great fight scene from there. I thought it was super awesome. Between Taro and Superman, between Lana and Superman, between Anderson and Jonathan, it was all super, super, super awesome. So yeah, great job. And then from there, sadly, Anderson fails. You know, he's trying to fly towards Jonathan. He's about to hit him super hard, and Jonathan like pulls out a move and he like hits him in the chest. He throws him to the ground, and you just see kind of blood come out of him. So the assumption is that he's dead. You know, I think that's what the assumption is, that he's dead. However, because the show never specifies, I gotta say I think he's alive. You know, I think he's alive. Also, you saw the band-aid. I have a cut, and I think I had to end it. Aren't they cool though? But yeah. Anyways, I'm distracted. Yeah, so you see like Anderson's like is like bleeding from his mouth after that chest thing, and he doesn't open his eyes anymore. So the assumption is that he's dead. I'm assuming that he's dead, but I would not be surprised if he isn't dead. Like if he shows up, I'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's alive. I wouldn't be mad if he's not dead. You know, I think they can go either way. If they don't want to bring him back, then fine, keep him dead. If they want to bring him back, then yeah, keep him alive. But I think it really doesn't matter. I think there's a high chance for both of them. So that's pretty cool. That's the good thing about the show never specifying if he was dead or not. So yeah, from there we get to see like Clark is like lost. He basically lost this. He's on the ground and everything. And then we get to see some flashbacks, some more flashbacks. Woohoo! And we get to see the backstory of Taro, which I thought was super awesome. And it starts with like this cantina thing or this bar, and it was super cool whenever we got to see like that 8-ball pool, and it had like cubes, rectangles kind of thing instead of circles. I thought it was super cool. I was like, that's super fun. I want to see some of that game. You know what I mean? That was super cool. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And it's basically Taro talking to Kal-El. That was a super cool scene. They're actually brothers in this universe. They were actually brothers in the universe. Talking like brothers, or talking like celebrities. He's like, I bought a new house in Smallville. It felt great and everything. And I thought it was like a really, really cool scene. You definitely feel that chemistry of brotherhood. You definitely feel how much they love each other. So that was really awesome. I thought that scene did a great job showing us that. And then we see Lana. Oh no, and then Clark's like, Lois is pregnant, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be an uncle, and nobody cares. And he's like, oh, everybody's drinks for the rest of the night are on me, and everybody cares. They're like, woo, you know what I mean? And then we get to see Lana come in, and she's like, she starts talking to them about the credit card. She's like, you better give the credit card, and you get to see that flirtation between Taro and Lana, and I think that was really cool. I think that worked really strongly. I thought it was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It is kind of weird how Lana dated Clark Kent in the our universe, and now in this universe she dates Taro. Kind of interesting, you know what I mean? But also I like the fashion that Lana had in that bar. I thought it was like, that's pretty cool at fashion, you know, that's pretty cool fashion. The fashion in that other universe is like 50-50. Some of it is like really cool, and some of it is like really cringy. But I thought that fashion worked for Lana. I thought she would look really fabulous in that scene. And then from there we get to see that Taro is getting married to Lana, which I was super, super cool. I find it so funny how they were like wearing the Superman dresses. I was like, you can't wear something more nice for your wedding, you know what I mean? But then Lana was wearing like a super like weird, like I guess in this universe, instead of a white dress, it's a black dress, had like feathers and everything, and I thought they looked kind of cool. Actually, I was like, that's pretty cool. So yeah, they get married and everything, and I love the brotherhood once again, relationship between Clark and Taro. It's super cool. And we're moving fast, and then we get to see like time later whenever Taro was talking about Allie to Clark Kent or to Kal-El, and we're talking about how they listen to her and everything, and she's like, and Clark Kent loses it. He's like, what? Or Kal-El loses it. He's like, what? No, you can't join her. You can't. He took everything from me. She took my son. She took everything. You know what I mean? You can definitely tell that he was taking some kryptonite. You already start to see like the lines on his face and everything, which I thought was interesting. And then Taro was like, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. But Lana really, really, truly believes in her, and honestly, so do I. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, it's kind of late. It's super late right now. But anyways, and yeah, I had just, you feel both of the sides, and you know, Kal-El loses it. He's like, get out, and you see like his blue eyes. That's super cool. I think the blue eyes look super awesome as well. You know, usually it's like laser vision, so it's always like red or like orange. And I thought that blue eyes actually looks really cool. I was like, oh, it looks really awesome. Honestly, that looks really, really cool. I like that color palette. We should use that more. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was really cool, and that's how they kind of ended. You know, that's how their brotherhood kind of got lost. You know what I mean? So then we go back to present time, and Allie merges with her other self and tells Jonathan to go merge with his other self in his other universe, so she gets her independence. And then Taro is like choking Clark Kent as he's watching this, and he's like, he has a change of heart. You know, he's like, I realized what I lost. What I lost looking at you, you know what I mean? Because it's his brother, you know. He realizes what he lost, and so he lets Superman chase Jonathan. He's like, go save him or something like that. He blows Lana away. I always thought it was a super cool scene. He just goes like, and like Lana flies out. It's like super awesome. I was like, that's super cool, Taro. I didn't lie, that's super, super, super cool. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then from there, we get that cliffhanger, that super amazing cliffhanger with Jonathan, in the original world, in our world, where Lois is like, what are you doing here? And then he's like, the planet starts shining, and it's like, I'm here for him. And it's like the Jonathan from our world coming in, and he's like all confused. He's like, what? Which I would be like freaking out, be like, what just happened here? What am I watching? Wait, what? But yeah, that was super cool. I was like, that is super, super awesome. An amazing cliffhanger. Like an amazing. I'm like super excited for next episode. I can't wait for it. The preview looks awesome. I really can't wait. I really want a Jordan between Jonathan. That's gonna be super awesome. You know, Jordan has got to be like, that's my brother. You're not taking him, and he's like got to like throw some fists. He's gonna lose obviously because he has a lot of less practice. But come on, I want to see those fists getting thrown. Unless they're trying to save that for the finale, which I could definitely see that being tried to save for the finale. But come on, I want to see like that fight. That would be super, super cool. So if we get to see in this episode, it would be amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, overall thoughts on this episode is that this episode was honestly incredible. I love the way they play with the bizarre world, fashion, different lifestyles, like the celebrity type of view that they gave it to Kal-El. I thought was my favorite thing about this, how they explored that. Some of the differences, like Taro being like, and Clark being best friends, Lana with Taro, you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. I thought that was really, really cool. I thought it really, really worked. And overall, I thought that the expression of the bizarre world was just incredible. I honestly thought this episode was amazing. I thought it was amazing to come back. Super, super strong. I would give it like a 9 out of 10. I really, really did love this episode a lot. Like, really nice. Also, the acting was incredible. Like, the acting was super, super incredible. And the cinematography was, once again, splendid. Like, it was really, really incredible. As you can tell by my thumbnail, where I just used a bunch of shots from the cinematography, it was a bunch of shots in this episode were like beautiful. They were like gorgeous. So that's really, really nice. That's incredible. And the directing, incredible the way that they play with the bizarre world, the words and everything. I thought it worked really, really nicely. So yeah. Now theories. I already said Jordan between Jonathan. I think that's gonna happen for the next episode for sure. I do think that he's gonna end up losing. And I do think that Jonathan's probably gonna merge with the other Jonathan, but I think he's gonna do it by choice, maybe, because Jonathan's not in the best place in our world after the drug scandal and everything. I think he might merge with Jonathan on purpose, or because he wants to. I think there is a chance. Maybe he won't, but I think there is a chance. You know what I mean? My bad. And then I do think that Allie's gonna come to this universe, and like they're gonna strong to build their kind of like freaking army, you know what I mean? I think we have like 4 episodes left, so I don't know what we're gonna do for 4 episodes, you know what I mean? Something's gotta happen. Something else gotta happen. So yeah, I don't know how we're gonna build. I honestly don't know how we're gonna spend 4 more episodes on this. But yeah, that's basically my immediate theories. I try to think something else, but honestly, I don't know how you can possibly sub Allie at this point because we don't really know her powers yet. We don't really know what is it yet. All I know is that she honestly kind of reminded me a little bit of Agatha whenever she like blew Superman out of the thing whenever they were merging. It kind of gave me a little bit of Agatha vibes. That's all I know. But pretty much after that, I don't really know. So I do think that honestly, I think. Maybe we might end with a loss this season, and I think maybe everybody will merge. I think that would be a super way to subvert expectations and be super awesome. Kind of like ever season 1, whenever Arrow loses and the Glades get like destroyed, despite Marco Merlin winning. Marco Merlin lost, but he still destroyed the Glades. I think that something like that could happen in this show where Superman beats Allie, but everybody still merges. You know what I mean? I think that could be a really strong thing, and then leave that for season 3, or maybe that could happen like in the next 2 episodes, and then we get to see like, oh my god, that wasn't the finale. The finale is like what happens once everything's merged. I think that would also be super interesting to play with and a super concept and be like, how do we bring it back and everything? That would be super cool. So I do think that's how it might go down. So yeah, that's my theories. That's my spoiler review, and that's my breakdown. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you liked it. Also, it was kind of like a recap as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it, and if you did, then just make sure to leave a like. It really, really helps out my video. So please, definitely make sure to like. Don't forget to leave a like. It really helps out. As well as tell me down in the comments your own thoughts on this video, any theories as well. Any thoughts on the episode, your own review for the episode, favorite moments, what did you like about the Bizarre World, what didn't you like about the Bizarre World, or how hyped are you for the next episode and all that type of stuff, and just theories in general. Anything you want to tell me about this episode, tell me that down in the comments. I'm definitely very, very curious. And lastly, make sure to subscribe for a lot more content. I do one of these episodes a review of a Sopranos episode every week after the episode debuts. So subscribe for all the content that I'm sure you did not want to miss, because I really love talking about the show, and I really hope you can join me week to week. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and this is JB Entertainment, out.